My dad demanded I take his son to Disneyland so he could have child-free time. He called me an ungrateful brat and expected me to pay $5,000 for their tickets. I locked the door and went low contact. We are done. I, 35F, have a complicated relationship with both my father and his wife Denise, fake name, for several reasons, some of which relate to my half-brother, Jake, 9 years old. There's a lot of backstory here, but to sum things up, Jake exists because Denise wanted a baby and my father was upset that both his daughters were moving out. They expected me and my sister, 29 years old, to have an active role in caring for Jake. That wouldn't be possible for either of us, but they continued to assume we'd give in. We didn't, which led to multiple fights that soured my relationship with our father. Denise also got mad at me for refusing to be her village. I got pregnant with my first child when Jake was still a baby, which made her even more angry that I wouldn't help her as much as she wanted. Things at their household aren't great. Jake isn't well behaved. My father is not a very active parent, though he is more present than he used to be. And the older Jake gets, the more Denise loses interest in parenting. They never stopped trying to get me to help take care of their son. To this day, whenever they need a babysitter, they call me first, even though I'm almost never able to do it. They've tried multiple things over the years, but most of their current strategies concern my children, Sam, 8M, and Katie, 4F. My kids do not get along with Jake, but not for lack of trying on my father and Denise's part. They've tried setting up playdates, aka Denise dumping Jake on me and my kids while she went shopping, making them share a room on family vacations, and my father even considered changing Jake to Sam's school a few years ago. Every time there's an opportunity to make the kids spend time together, they push for it. That brings us to now. My husband and I are planning a trip to France with our children in September to celebrate Katie's 5th birthday. We don't travel much, and the trip will include Disneyland Paris, so the kids are thrilled. My father found out and decided to propose that we bring Jake with us. He said he'd pay for all the expenses, flights, and hotels, so that his son could go to Europe with my family. I said no, we wanted the trip to be just us and our kids. He kept insisting that Jake would love going to Disney with us, that he and Denise really wanted some nice, child-free time, and that they'd appreciate it if I took care of my little brother like a good sister. We had an argument, and I ended up losing my patience. I told my father that he needs to accept that Jake is not my responsibility and never will be, and that he and Denise should have thought about their child-free time before having a child. My father is furious. He accused me of saying I wish Jake was never born. I didn't, and called me an ungrateful brat for refusing to take care of my brother. Denise later called me to yell a few insults as well. I don't think I'm in the wrong for refusing to bring Jake along, but I'm not proud of what I said to my father. My husband is on my side, but thinks I was too harsh. Edit. I didn't explain this clearly enough, but my father only offered to pay for Jake's flights and whatever extra accommodation costs were needed for him to stay with us. He did not offer to fly my whole family to Europe. Hi everyone. It's been about a week since I posted, so I thought I'd give you an update. First of all, I don't regret posting here and I'm very thankful for your responses, but I want to make it clear that my relationship with my father, like all relationships, is very nuanced. I won't try to defend him, and I don't think he's a great guy, but he is my father and I love him. This is a very small part of my life, and I'm not willing to completely cut ties with him over it. I am, however, willing to go low contact, which is what I've decided to do. My sister flew over on Friday to spend her birthday weekend with us. On Saturday, we did what we do every year on her birthday, lunch with our mother, dinner with our father. He hosted at his place. It wasn't as tense or awkward as I expected, but Denise barely spoke to me and my husband all night. Jake was there and behaved better than usual. After my sister left, my father and Denise asked to speak with us in private. I ended up going on my own while my husband stayed with the kids in the living room. They made me an offer. They said Denise would agree to babysit my children every other Saturday, which they repeatedly said would be a tremendous hassle and extremely inconvenient for her, both to get them better acquainted with Jake and to give us some time off, if I agreed to reconsider letting their son come to France with us. Alternatively, They said they'd be willing to let go of their disappointment about the trip if my husband and I agreed to babysit Jake every other Saturday until September, so that they could have some free time. They expected me to choose either option. I said no to both. This was the first time in a while that I didn't even feel the need to explain myself. My father tried to end the conversation, but Denise started ranting about how exhausted she was and how horrible it felt to not be able to rely on family. When she was done, I told them not to contact me until they were ready to apologize and went to get my children. Denise thankfully didn't have a meltdown in front of them before we left. Earlier today, I got a text from my father. He said he wanted to apologize, and we ended up on a phone call. Apparently, he'd realized they were being unreasonable during the dinner, but decided to go through with the offer anyway. I asked him whether Jake knew about the trip, which had been bugging me, and he said no. Denise apparently wanted to tell him that we were going to Disney and refusing to take him with us, but he told her that was both cruel and pointless. We did get some more stuff out of the way, but the talk felt more like an attempt to give excuses than an apology. In the end, I told him I was going to need some space. I said that the way they had treated me was unacceptable, and it is only my love for both him and Jake that is keeping me from completely cutting ties. I added that I loathe the way his wife and their son treat me and my children, and I'm sick of being expected to bend over backwards to help him and Denise. If patterns are to be believed, I won't be hearing about this for a while. I don't think the matter is closed, but I don't care. I did mute Denise's contact for now. My husband and I are doing great. We're back to talking about the trip. If anyone has tips, let me know. Turns out we suck at this. Sam and Katie have no idea anything happened, but I'm going to have a deeper talk with them about Jake, my father, and Denise soon. This upset me a lot more than it should have. I love my family, but I hate how used I am to how crazy they can be. I think that is why I posted here in the first place. I can't believe I ever thought I was in the wrong for putting my foot down. As much as I don't want to cut contact with my father, I do think lowering it will be good for me. I've been reflecting a lot about my life and my family these days. I'm getting my thoughts in order before I see my therapist on Tuesday. I think writing this all down is helping. Thank you. I have no intention of updating again.